channel.com. Today, I want to talk about rich people and wealth and some things that you never learned about wealth when you went to school. I hope that this helps some of you because a lot of you have asked me about this, so I thought that I would address it very quickly. This video won't take long, but we're going to get started right here on the Black Financial Channel right now. All right, guys, what's going on? I hope you guys can hear me okay. Hey, El Haj, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Do me a favor. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me properly. You can't see me because I'm saving bandwidth. I'm actually out at sea, so the Wi-Fi is really bad. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Hey, Tawan, happy Turkey Day. Happy Turkey Day to you too. Terry Cobb, thank you for coming by. I see you. I always see you in there, Terry. What do you think about call options? I asked Yassine. I think those are very good. In fact, toward the end, I'll mention some stuff we have on options investing. All right, so let me just kind of break something down to you real quick. I thought that I would just kind of share this because you guys know that I like to go live, pretty regularly to talk to you guys about things that I've seen when it comes to wealth and economics and all that stuff. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that rich people don't really pay taxes the way working class people do. Now, I'm not, obviously, it would be an exaggeration to say that rich people don't pay at all, or that all rich people are corrupt, or that all rich people are evil. I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's the way to approach this issue. But I will say to you that America's rigged when it comes to who pays taxes in this country. And I've analyzed, government revenue, government expenses, and our country's headed south. This country's headed to hell in a handbasket financially because the debt is unsustainable. During this pandemic, the amount of debt they took on is absolutely earth shattering. And basically, we're going to have some big problems that are going to come from that. And so, one of the things I wanted to share with you guys is this is something you probably didn't learn in school. First of all, let me ask you guys this. How many of you grew up in a household where everybody, went to work on a job? Like the goal was to get the best job you could get. Maybe you even went to college. So to do what? What, to get a better job, right? That's what you were told to go to college for. You get a better job, you can make some money, you can get you a nice car, get you a nice apartment, stuff like that. And I don't know if anybody else grew up that way. Let me know if you did grow up that way. I grew up that way. And one of the things I can tell you is that I've had a chance to go around and be around some wealthy people. And I also, as a financial scientist, I do have my PhD in this stuff. And I mention it regularly just because, first of all, it was hard to get a PhD in finance. It's very difficult. But also, I think it's very important that I lay that context out for anybody that's new that thinks that I'm just some guy who's running his mouth on the internet. I'm not speaking on opinion. I'm speaking on what my scientific research in this field has told me. And one of the things that's going on is that in America, this country is propped up by working class people. It's working people, working middle class people that prop the country up because it's working middle class people that pay all the taxes or pay the bulk of it anyway. They pay a big chunk of taxes. Why is that? Well, because when you work, you don't really have many write-offs, especially if you're a person who's just thinking about jobs and just thinking about making an income. You're not really running businesses. You may not be doing much with the stock market or real estate or running your own company. So basically, I remember my dad, when I was growing up, my father, he wanted a tax write-off. So his big opportunity for a tax write-off was to buy a house and write off the interest, right? That's pretty much the primary way that a lot of middle class people were able to get tax write-offs. But here's the thing: if you're rich, you can write off a lot of stuff. You can write off damn near everything. Rich people pretty much write off their whole entire lifestyle. So, for example, let's say you meet a rich person who owns a private jet. Well, they're not paying for that jet completely. It's not free. It's not a free jet now. It's not a free jet. But what they might have done is they might have bought this jet and and then also use the jet for business, not just for their personal business to have business meetings or whatever, but also to maybe charter the jet, maybe, right? So that maybe the jet maintenance costs them, $500,000 a year to maintain the jet, but they're making, 500,000 a year from chartering the jet. And then on top of that, when they go on a trip with their family, well, guess what? That trip is business. They're going to incorporate some business in that trip so they can write off a big chunk of the cost of that family vacation. So you're going to Disney World. You're spending full. You're spending full dollar. Every dollar you spend is every dollar you spend, and you're spending after tax dollars. A wealthy person who runs a business is going to find a way to write off some of that trip to Disneyland by doing business there or whatever. And that's why I tell you guys, one of the principles in the Black Business School is that I believe that every Black family should have a family business. Because if you do it ethically and legally, I'm not telling you to break the law. You should never break the law. You don't want to be corrupt. You don't want to do anything that's going to get you in trouble. But if you do it ethically and legally, if you have a family business, you can write off a lot of your family trips. Just make sure you keep it on the up and up. Make sure you clear it with your accountant. Maybe talk to your lawyer or whatever and say, hey, how much can I write off, ethically, and what can I do? And that reduces the cost. That means that, for every dollar that a regular person is spending to go on a vacation, you're spending maybe 70 cents, maybe 60 cents, or whatever the case may be. Right. So rich people don't really pay taxes. They just don't. And that's why, they keep a lot of their money. That's why you can have a wealthy person who makes a ton of money, who has a zero tax bill. When it was revealed that Donald Trump owed $700 in taxes or whatever that number was, everybody assumed, oh, it must be corrupt. It must be because he's crooked. Maybe he is crooked. I mean, the man owns casinos. He's been in the boxing industry. He's dealt with the mafia. He deals with the Russians. There's a lot of corruption. I just smell corruption in that. But corruption is not the reason that his tax bill was low. It's because he had a lot of write-offs. When you have write-offs, you can live a nice lifestyle. There are business people I know who will swear to you that they haven't made a profit, but yet they are flying in a private jet, living on a yacht, got their own helicopter, but will swear that they made no income last year. And they're not lying. It's because they literally were able to legally write that stuff off. I talked to a guy. Actually, before I tell you the story, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe button, share this video. Also, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. You can text the word "voice" to 31996 to get text alerts periodically from us. We don't send out too many of them, but you can get them when we go live, things like that. Now, somebody mentioned options. We do have an options investing program in the Black Business School. So if you're interested in taking a look, there's that URL, blackoptionsinvesting.com. So here's the deal. I talked to a guy in Hollywood once, and this guy was he was actually, you know what? I don't think he'll mind me sharing this, but it was Will Smith's brother, Harry. Will Smith is a very smart guy. They come from a smart family, and I don't know Will at all, but I know Harry. Harry was very smart, and I talked to Harry twice for like 2 hours, and we hit it off very well, and I enjoyed talking to him very much, and he's a great guy to speak with. And one of the things Harry told me that really blew my mind is I think that he said something to the effect that Warner Brothers swears that the Harry Potter franchise has never made a profit. Give me a yes or no if you've heard this. Give me a yes or no if you've ever heard about this. That Warner Brothers claims that Harry Potter, that whole multi-billion-dollar franchise, has never made a profit. Has anybody ever heard about that? Give me a yes or no in the chat. Yeah, I don't think a lot of you have heard of that. Yeah, and it's astonishing, right? It's like, how can Harry Potter, with all the money that they've made with that franchise, never make a profit? Well, it's because creative accounting allows them to reduce their tax bill. It also allows them to, as a studio, they can work deals in their favor. Some will call them ripoffs, but the way I see it is if they give you a contract and you sign it, unless they told you couldn't read it, you weren't allowed to read it, or you couldn't get a lawyer. I don't know if you could call it a ripoff, right? I think you have a responsibility to read things that you sign. But one of the things he explained to me is that studios, to keep the money, started doing deals with artists where they would say, look, we'll give you a cut of the revenue, but only after we pay all the expenses. Well, expenses are arbitrary. Somebody they could create management fees and all kinds of crap in there that, administrative costs or whatever. And next thing you know, you're looking like New Edition. I don't know if y'all remember New Edition when they went on their world tour, sold out stadiums all over the world, number one record, several number one songs on the number one record. So New Edition actually got royally screwed. They got done with this world tour and got a check for like $1.87 after the tour was over. And Ronnie, the tall guy from New Edition, he's actually a student in the Black Business School now. I didn't know he was, but he messaged me. He's a very nice guy, very polite. He sent me a message, and I think he's into real estate, if I'm not mistaken. And he's also deep into Black financial literacy, and I was very impressed by that. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna try to, if I talk to him, he called me. I got to call him back. But if I talk to him, I'm going to have him try to get him on the show because I want him to talk about that experience and how financial literacy is so important so black people don't get screwed. Also, Ice Cube is going to come back very soon after Thanksgiving. And when he comes back, I told him, I said, I'd love to talk to you about business because I want our people to really be the most financially literate group of people on the planet. So at the end of the day, the game is rigged. If you think that America's rigged, every day somebody comes in that, I get a lot of pessimists. They sometimes will come in. Sometimes they're just Negro naysayers. Negro naysayers find a problem with every solution. And some of them are just nasty. But then some of them are trying to be helpful, but they just are just so bitter and negative and nasty, and they'll just say, "Oh, the stock market's a big Ponzi scheme, and you're trying to get people to do this investing stuff. Rich people are evil and whatever." And I just kind of say to them, look, America is rigged. America is a rigged country. There's no question about it. And and the thing about it is that there are rules, and if you learn the rules, then you can rig the system in your favor. And I just want you to do that. I just want you to rig, and maybe as a guy who knows the system on some level, I can explain some things to you that can help you to make better decisions and really put your family in a good situation. Okay, guys. So anyway, that was my thought. I came back in. I told Alicia, I said, this is on my mind today, so I'm gonna share this with my peoples, and I hope that this helps you. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Text the word "voice" to 31996 to get notifications. And also, if you're interested in getting financial workbooks or flashcards for your kids, the URL is financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. The URL is right there on the screen. So feel free to write that down if you want to get some stuff for your kids for the holidays or whatever the case may be. And also the Black Wealth Bootcamp. We're launching that again in January after 5 years. For the next 48 hours, it is literally 72% off, which is a massive, massive discount. The bootcamp is very, very popular. You're going to love it. So, and there's a money back guarantee in case you don't, but you're going to love it. So feel free, if you're interested in joining us for the January cohort, go to blackwealthbootcamp.com. So take care, guys. Have a good night. I hope this conversation was helpful, and I will see you soon. Take care. Be one. Peace.